In this video, I just wanted to go over the idea of Mendel's first law, the law of dominance. In the law of dominance, basically what you're doing is you're describing why certain traits are found in higher ratios than other traits across populations, and why certain traits get inherited in higher ratios whenever you're crossing two individuals. So, what Mendel did to test this law is he took pure breeding lines of a certain trait out of his pea plants. So maybe he was testing the height of the plant. He would take lines of plants, meaning lineages of offspring that were only producing other tall plants or other short plants until he had perfect pure breeding lines. So in this example on this picture, we can assume that someone would have taken a lineage of white flowers and a lineage of purple flowers where the offspring were only producing other offspring of the exact same type as them. So they're pure breeding lines. And then when they're crossed together, what we end up seeing is one of the traits showing up and the other trait not showing up at all. So in this case, we have a purple and a white flower producing only purple offspring. Now, this was a really strange idea to Mendel because at his time, what was thought was you got a perfect blending of the parental traits. So purple and a white flower, they would have thought would have just produced a lighter purple flower because you would just be combining purple and white. Well, that's not what they saw. Mendel instead saw that you would only get one of the traits showing up. So this kind of confused him, and he's thinking, okay, well, where did the other trait go? Why am I not getting any white flowers in this example? So what he did was he then crossed two of those offspring. So you would have taken one of these purple flowers and crossed it with, another sister purple flower. And what he observed in the second generation here is that first trait that seemed to have disappeared showed back up. Now, it showed back up in a smaller ratio, in a 3-to-1 or 75% to 25% ratio, but it still showed back up, meaning that something was getting passed down from this original white flower into the offspring that then allowed it to show back up in the second generation. And we now know that those are genes, and the different types of genes, the purple or white gene, are different alleles. And what he ended up saying then is that he called them factors. He didn't know what a gene or chromosome or allele, he didn't know what any of those were, so we called them factors. He said that certain factors were dominant over other factors. In this case, the purple factor or purple allele is dominant over the white factor or white allele. And he called the other factor recessive. So we have dominant or purple alleles and recessive or white alleles. So that's the main idea behind Gregor Mendel's first law of genetics, the law of dominance.